Hello.
Hello, everybody.
And by the skin of our teeth, we are here. I had to drive home very, very quickly from work. I got called into work today, but we made it on time. We thought we were going to have to push it back, and we didn't. So that's nice.
We didn't. Here we are. Woohoo.
So that episode.
The political intrigue. How I've missed it.
My boy. My special boy.
Talking points here at the top of the Q&A. The giveaway on our Twitter account is still going. You can win. Barry's getting the keychains.
Oh, no. Sorry, I accidentally hit a button.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hit a button by accident. But yes, you can win the little keychains. Follow our Twitter account. Retweet the little tweet that has the keychains on it.
Yeah, when we get to 300 followers, we'll be giving away one of these to, I believe, 3 winners.
3 people.
Yeah, 3 winners are going to get their choice of either a Leo or a Fee keychain.
Yeah.
And these are not yet available on our merch store. They will be
Not
in
yet.
the future, but they are not yet available. So they are exclusive to the giveaway right now.
Soon. Also, on our Patreon, if you sign up to the $5 level, we put out a new bonus episode today. Or not today. Sorry. No, Friday. Friday, we put out a new bonus episode called Zen Kalesa Go to the Alabaster Citadel.
Yes, it's a White Castle joke. You can only guess what the whole shtick of that bonus episode was.
Shut up. It was, I assume it was fun to record. I don't remember that entire evening. My clearest memory of the entire recording session for Zen Kalesa Go to the Alabaster Citadel is eating a pepperoni and cracker sandwich. That's it.
My clearest memory is the fact that my wife, who I now remember why I hate playing D&D with her.
You hate DMing her.
I hate DMing.
Playing with her.
Playing with her is a delight. My wife, my gorgeous, wonderful, lovely wife, who I love more than
First of all, you have to understand, D&D Beyond, if you roll a D20 on D&D Beyond, it lowballs you every single time.
Yeah, the dice on D&D Beyond sucked.
I have never rolled higher than a 14 on the dice when I was using the D&D Beyond roller. Chelsea
rolled not
however,
1, not 2, not 3, but 4 nat 20s on D&D Beyond.
It was so funny. It was so funny.
And all but one of those nat 20s were skills with which Kalesa had a +10. So my wife rolled 3 30s in my session.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that, like, my wife has ADHD, so that means when she plays D&D that she is constantly playing, like, 4D chess. Yeah. And, like, I can play in a session as carefully as I want to. Yeah. Chelsea will find a way to...
Chelsea has that special brand of ADHD where her brain is just making connections that you never anticipated.
It's like the Pepe Sylvia meme inside her head.
Yeah. 4D chess all the time. She has broken, like, 6 campaigns over the last few years, and Zen Kalesa Go to the Alabaster Citadel was not an exception to the rule.
No, yeah, she broke my session. She broke my session in a very big way.
So much.
And the fact that she broke my session and rolled 3 30s, but 4 nat 20s, while blasted out of her mind.
Toasted.
Absolutely zooted.
Very funny. But yeah, that's up on our Patreon. If you're a $5 patron,
it's funny. Yeah, if you're a $5 patron, give it a listen. It's a fun time for everybody but the DM.
Somebody in the chat said Chelsea being too brainy for D&D is too funny. Help. It's not
that she's brainy.
This is gonna sound mean. It's not that she is too smart for D&D. That's going to sound mean. I'm not calling her dumb. Like, she's a very smart person, but it's not that she's too smart for D&D. It's that she is too good at thinking her way out of little holes.
With, like, the most batshit unorthodox.
Batshit leaps of logic. Like, she...
Because, I think Chelsea would corroborate with this.
Yeah.
Again, my wife is an extremely smart individual.
Yeah.
And a very wise individual.
Yeah.
She doesn't know half the rules of Dungeons and Dragons.
No, she doesn't know what...
She's never cracked open the player's handbook in her life.
Yeah. It's just that when she is playing TTRPGs, there is something about you can make a plot as carefully as you want. You can leave it as hole free as you want.
I spent hours on that session plan.
Yeah.
Because I knew what DMing Chelsea was like.
Yeah. you can be as careful as you want, and then she will ask a seemingly innocuous question, and you go, what?
Yeah, you know that thing that you mentioned an hour and a half ago
that
about that box that was on the floor when
you know
were
that
just doing...
random thing that you said an hour and a half ago that I wasn't supposed to mention because you were just setting a scene? Well, you see,
I'm gonna use that to break your game now.
I have this spell and this move, and I have plus whatever this skill. I have plus 30 to fucking investigation or whatever, and then the campaign is in shattered pieces on the floor.
She's done this 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
It happens every time
very
she plays
funny.
D&D.
It's hilarious.
And knowing my wife, like the back of my hand, do I know her? I know her so well. She's the other half of me. I knew, and I spent hours on that fucking session plan. I was like,
and then she rolled 4 nat 20s.
Yep, I was like, nope, there is no way Chelsea's getting out of this one. I am making tables for everything. I am planning out everything I'm going to say so she can't sweep the leg Johnny me. She's not getting out of this one. And I had Kalessa roll her first investigation check, and my wife rolled a nat 20, and Kalessa had plus 10 to investigation, which made it a 30.
Oh, it was really good. She hadn't even looked at Kalessa's spell sheet before we started recording. It was so funny.
Kalessa never used a spell. Kalessa never used a spell in the entire thing.
Nope, it was just nat 20s. Literally, Chelsea did not know what Kalessa's spellcasting focus was going into this recording
and
session.
You hear that in the set, and you hear that in the episode.
And she just broke the whole fucking thing. It was great.
I wish we had video recorded it because I would kill to have seen my own face when Chelsea rolled that first nat 20.
Let me simulate it for you.
You don't remember it.
No, I remember that. I know what your face is when Chelsea accidentally breaks something in your campaigns. It's something like...
And then I take the glasses off.
And then the glasses go on the table. Yeah. Yep. It was fantastic.
And then the glasses go back on. That's usually what happens.
If you're a $5 patron, you can listen to it happen on the Patreon. Anyway, moving swiftly along, episode playlist for this week.
This isn't as oofta as last week. It's
bits of it are.
Yeah.
Yeah. We opened with Sicilian Crest by the Mountain Goats. It was just a Senate song. I thought it was a good mood setter. It's very much that kind of thing. Like, I'm just looking at the lines. Portents in the sky say that the time is near. Dial into the signal coming in loud and clear. Sacrificial victims out of the cage, smiling as they're taking the stage. And then look to the west. Look to the man bearing the Sicilian crest. And then hope for the best, prepare for the worst. We wait like stockpiled landmines ready to burst. Yeah. Wait all your life to see what you see. Open up your eyes and be free. Like, it was very much just a very good mood setter for this episode, I thought. So.
Oh, Icarus by the Crane Wives.
This
is a Fee song.
It went on the Fee playlist this week. It's a lot. Climb ye higher and higher and higher till you're far away and breathing cleaner air. Oh, my brother, my brother, my brother, who have you become in the wake of all that's happened here? They're burning down the orchard to the soil, to the grave, spreading out the ashes of a love that only gave and gave. Oof. Our hands are pulling everything apart, all apart, falling back. Tell yourself there's no more need to lie. We don't have time for that. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. Fee's having a time. Fee's having a time. Oh, somebody said Pidge was in the background. Pidgey.
Yeah, there she is.
Hi, baby. Yeah, Fee was having some ethical dilemmas this episode.
I think you said during recording, there's a reason Leo's the politician.
Yeah, there's a reason Leo's the politician. Look, Fee epic autism moment, black and white morality. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, this was very much just kind of where Fee's at psychologically, just because there are a lot of compromises that she didn't expect to have to make at this point, and she's kind of realizing of like, oh, we don't get to stop making compromises and take the high road until this is over, because taking the high road gets you dead.
Yeah, or a lot of other people dead.
Yeah.
I mean, which is like, I think Leo explained that to her in the kindest way he could, given the time that they had. Like, it probably came off sounding a little brash, but like, they didn't have a lot of time to discuss it, and Leo knew where he stood and everything, and his whole point about there's a difference between heroism and harm reduction.
Yeah, and it was another one of those situations where, like, there
Nobody
is
was
no
really wrong.
there's no right or wrong answer. It's just kind of what you can do and what you can handle.
I did enjoy Tomas Highvale fucked up in morally gray moments.
Yes.
we've been waiting
Tomas.
on that.
I love Tomas. Look, he's a good dude. He is not always necessarily a strictly morally righteous dude.
He's neutral good. He's neutral good. Yeah.
He's gonna do the right thing. It just might take some fucked up and morally gray moments to get there. That was his character concept.
Next one was "Wishing Well" by the Oh Hellos, which was the Leo one of the Leo songs for this one.
Oof.
I ran like a speeding train, cut my hair, and changed my name. Only had myself to blame for the company I was keeping. And then the chorus, because I stole from my father all I thought I could sell, tossed his copper, and I watched as it fell, but there wasn't any water in the wishing well. Bent my knee to many kings, idols of prosperity, heard that dollar calling me, so I sought it in the city. And then the last line is, for my soul he made an offer, and to the dust again I fell, and oh, that devil's got a hold on me now, because there wasn't any water in the wishing well.
Yeah,
Leo's been having a bad time.
Yeah, and we put it on there because of the parallels to like early season 1.
Yeah,
and like all that being brought up again, because that's very much a song that also could have gone on a season 1 Leo playlist.
And almost did. I think it got edged out by something.
Yeah, I think it almost went on.
But it's been on my Leo playlist forever and a day.
It's. But yeah, just a lot of intentional parallels in this episode. So,
well, yeah, and I thought that you DM'd that really masterfully. The bringing up of like he was there trying to stop. The last time he was in this situation, he was trying to start a war, and how he was there trying to stop one, and like kind of it was very illustrative of the character growth that has happened and will continue to happen.
Thanks. After that.
That's the other Fee song.
No, it's not.
Oh, no, it's not?
Nope. Daniel in the Den is on there for Valor and Valsign.
That's right.
Daniel in the Den is the first and I think only time we're going to hear from Valor and Valsign on an episode playlist. How we doing, everyone? And it's very much the pre-chorus in reference to the Volduran government. And you thought the lions were bad. Well, they tried to kill my brothers, and for every king that died, they would crown another. And then the chorus is felled in the night by the ones you think you love, they will come for you. Yeah. It's a lot of that. Those are the relevant lyrics. Oof. Somebody in the chat said, Val, fly high, king. You gotta see your brother trip and fall one more time. So true. Correct. But yeah, I just felt that fit there because Val had a kind of unique perspective on the greater situation, as, to be frank, somebody who has gotten fucked over by both sides of the situation that Leo's in. So
no sir, you were the one that decided to get up at 4 a.m. and ask for breakfast.
Woody's crying. We're sorry. Woody's crying because it's not his dinner time yet. And then next song on the episode playlist. Bow, bow, bow. Close that. Okay. All right. Next song in the episode playlist was The Bastards, the Vultures, and the Wolves by the Wonder Years.
Which is our second time we've heard from Moreland on a playlist.
Yeah. Isn't this on your They Were Narrative Foils?
It is on my And They Were Narrative Foils playlist because it
Barry has a playlist entitled And They Were Narrative Foils, which is all songs that could go either on a Moreland playlist or a Leo playlist.
Or are on
or
both
are
of mine.
On both.
And The Bastards, the Vultures, the Wolves was one of the first ones I added to the And They Were Narrative Foils playlist. Yeah, God, just from the first verse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm angry like I'm 18 again and the walls are closing in, but the bastards and the vultures all want pieces of what's left. We built this out of sweat and spit with our hearts in place of brick, but I'll burn it to the ground before you get your hands on it. Second verse, I know I was an angry kid, but I scraped and scratched for this. Now I'm stuck holding a bomb with a fuse that's still lit. They'll never let me rest again. And yeah, I came out swinging, but I'm still walking out with 2 black eyes and a split lip. And
the last bridge.
Yeah, Jake says I've got good intentions, and I said that I hope he's right because I've been burning every bridge that I can fucking find tonight. The devil's got a rifle on my front porch with me in his sights. He knows I came looking for a fight. And the ending of the song is just repeated lines of I came here looking for a fight. I came here looking for a fight until the end of the song.
Oof. It's bad. It's bad.
And they were narrative foils.
Narrative foils. And they were narrative foils. Woody, why are you tippy-tapping all over the place?
Because he wants Munch.
Please go lay down.
I'm going to go scoop him.
Mr. Man. Get him. And then the last song on the playlist was The Literal Heart by Penny and Sparrow, which is a Leo song. Oh goodness.
Boy. Yeah, this is one of those ones. Goodness. This is one of the ones where I had these very cinematic.
Sorry, my mom just texted me. Go off.
Yeah, I had very cinematic thoughts about it in terms of imagining it playing over one of the scenes that we added it into the playlist because of. There aren't a lot of lyrics to the song. It's very slow, but the ones that there are really pretty. I could be so much stronger than I am right now with broader shoulders and a sturdy frame, but that would cost me time and change that I might not be willing to make. It's going to take every drop of young blood I've got to hold on and stop and settle down. I want to sit still and empty. I want to learn to hollow out on a lonely piece of mountain. I want to sit and shut my mouth, but I'll be damned. I'd rather sleep. The garden's soft. My skin is weak. It's going to take every drop of young blood I've got to hold on and stop and settle down. And the back end of the song is just the repeated lines of settle down, settle down, settle down in this very sweet melodic, tone.
Yeah.
And I picture that playing as the scene where Leo tries to throw the crystal ball across the room and just breaks down sobbing in Zed's arms, playing over that scene silent in the background. Yeah. The Literal Heart's a song.
Oof. Oh, no. Somebody in the chat said, Alasha voice, I'm trying to sneak around and cause war, but my narrative foils crinkling keep alerting my estranged children. Or no, sorry, Alasha, I'm trying to sneak around and cause war, but my narrative foils crinkling and keep alerting my... God. Yeah, I assume that was meant to be Moreland voice. I read it wrong. My bad, but I'm trying to sneak around and cause a war, but my narrative foils.
Yeah, bestie, sure.
Oh, God. I understand what they're saying. I just read it incorrectly.
Okay.
And moving on into the questions. Okay. Somebody said we haven't got a very good grasp of politics when it gets past the human rights stuff. Can you dedicate some time in the Q&A to explaining exactly what's going on with all that? Okay, so all right. So basically, I understand that a lot of our listeners are not American and might not be aware of how the American Senate works, which is what we base the Voldaren Senate off of.
Well, it was based off the Roman Senate.
Well, yes, but the American Senate is also based off of the Roman Senate. Yeah, we base the numbers off of the American Senate. Basically, the structure of the Senate is every senator is elected by a separate sector of Voldur. And
there are some from the other cities too. Like I would think.
did we say? Okay.
Yeah, like there would be some representatives from like Gimtara.
Yeah. But yeah, every senator is individually elected to the position of senator, and then they kind of self-separate into individual committees, which tackle individual responsibilities for Voldur as a city and the Volduran Empire as a whole. So like Tomas being chairman of the urban planning committee, I believe you said, he is basically like head of like the parks department. Like he is in charge of a committee that is handling how the mail runs and is handling parks being built and is handling like
social programs and stuff like that.
Social programs, public housing, stuff like that. But like that is a position that he has taken voluntarily, and it gives him a little bit of sway over the people that are in his own committee. Maximus Grey River is the same thing for the National Defense Committee, which is basically the people that are there to be experts on
military stuff.
Yeah, on the Volduran army and on potential wars on the borders and stuff like that. Like they were in charge of the war with Assyria when it was going on. They are currently in charge of all the attempted land acquisition at the Tordunian border, and they are currently trying to have war declared against Assyria as retaliation for the blockade.
Yeah, and as far as political history goes, like we've done as much hinting at this as we kind of could, given time limits and other things that had to be discussed. Historically, Voggvoldur's been doing an imperialism for a long ass time. If you think about it, like they are a nation that originally was like limited to a very rocky strip of mountains. They don't have a lot of natural resources. So they started going and taking them from other people. And they tried to go to Australia and do that and lost.
And like a lot of the reason that they're trying to declare war now is very much out of a sense of embarrassment of like, oh, we lost, so that can't be allowed to stand.
And Maximus had a line about that. When he said, I've been waiting to nail that Valsine punk to the wall since Omegroth, he was talking about Morlin. Maximus Grey River is old as shit. He's old enough to call Morlin Valsine a punk.
And he was involved in the peace negotiations at Omegroth, and he was involved in the failure of them, which is how he could write about him in his book. So, like, it very much is a situation of he was in charge of a lot of the Volduran army at the time, and the fact that they couldn't bow out with dignity is something that has been a thorn in his side.
No, because after the whole situation at Omegroth, like the Assyrian military response got like very concentrated and very ruthless, and like Morlin Valsine chased those motherfuckers out of his country with their tails between their legs. Like they did not lose with dignity.
And like it very much is like a very nationalistic, embarrassed response, and also a very nationalistic response to the attempted attack the night of the gala. Like, even if they don't have the full scope of it, it's very much a how dare they kind of response. It's gross. I especially was very much basing Maximus Grey River on like a Bush era Republican. He's icky.
We don't like him.
But somebody in the chat said Maximus is so nasty. Like, on one hand, I hope he breaks his old man hip, but also I hope he does something funny first. So true. But like I think he very much showed his true colors in this scene or in this episode specifically in regards to that, because I think he was more subtle before, but like
well, and like it was right up until Leo called him on it that he was still trying to play the kind of like smarmy car salesman, because like we saw him like with that clairvoyance, but like we heard exactly what he thinks of Leo, which is that Leo is a dumb kid and easily controlled.
And like the goal, because the person that asked this question elaborated that they were kind of confused about what was going on with what are you doing? Okay. They were kind of confused about what Maximus's whole plan was. Like, the plan was, as Leo kind of gestured towards in his conversation with Fee and Tomas directly after, the plan that he was laying out was, I'm going to let you march back to your home country with a Volduran supportive force. Basically, I'm going to allow you to take the Volduran army into your home country, and you can be in charge and owe the Volduran government a favor.
Yeah, so essentially he was trying to get Leo to take him up on that offer.
Yeah.
Go home, use Leo to foment an Astrarian civil war, which would destabilize the country politically and cost thousands of lives.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, when it was all over, now
because they were destabilized, the Volduran army could rush in and claim the natural resources that they want. If you're familiar with American politics, you are familiar with the story.
And then Leo would essentially have been installed on the throne.
Yeah.
Owing the Volduran government a favor, which would mean that he would be a puppet monarch.
Yeah. Like, it was very much, we established it as clearly as we could without like spelling it out, but that was very much the plan, and that was very much the goal. And it just so happened that Leo was smart enough to see through it. But like, if it had worked, it would have been very bad for everyone in Asturia and very good for Volduran economic interests.
Yep.
So,
but I mean, Leo kind of picked up from the get-go that he was shady and that he wanted something.
Yeah. But it was just kind of, this was the establishment of, oh, this is what he wants.
And it's really bad.
Like, and it sucks. Our next question was just, no, but actually do talk about Morlasha. And then we got a bunch of questions about Morlasha. So,
hand in unlovable fucking hand.
Unlovable fucking hand. Oh my God. Hand in unlovable hand as a phrase is just, oh God. But then we got a bunch of questions about them. So we'll tackle those. Is Alasha trying to save herself from the fallout, save Morland from it, or just do damage control for both of them?
3 things can be true.
3 things can be true. Like, she very much, if it was just Morland's ass on the line, I think she would still be trying to do damage control, because she very much does. She doesn't want Morland to go down for the shit that he has done, because she loves him.
But also because she has helped with the shit that he's done, and if he goes down, so does she.
Yeah, but she has been so tangled up in all the shit that he has done for so long that if he goes down, so does she. Yeah, like, if anything that he has built goes down, Alasha has been complicit every step of the way. She has been involved every step of the way. Like, there is no untangling the shit that he has done from the shit that she has done, because they have done it all as a unit.
Yeah, and speaking of hand in unlovable hand, I think it's very interesting, derogatory part of their dynamic that the fact that they are so intertwined in all the bad shit that each other has done, that they take that knowledge and they take that fact that their fates are intertwined, and they use it on one hand as something that strengthens their relationship, and on the other hand, they use it as mutually assured destruction. Like, if you fuck with me, I will take you down with me.
You're coming down with me hand in unlovable hand.
It's they are awful. They are awful. They are not relationship goals, but ooh, are they interesting?
They're very interesting. I'm putting them in the petri dish.
Because we saw the kind of darker side. Like, we're seeing kind of the lighter side of it now, where they're like using it as like something to kind of strengthen their relationship. But in season 1, we saw it all the time. Like, the kind of that was before they were married. But the kind of,
somebody in the chat said, I truly was so shocked when Alasha was affectionately touching him. Yeah, it's very much, she knows what he is, and she, in a lot of ways, does not enjoy the things. She thinks that a few of the things that he has done are morally reprehensible, but she has helped with them nonetheless, and she has been in love with him for over a century.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucked.
It's fucked up. It's deeply fucked up. Yeah. And I mean, we've talked about I love you as much as someone like me can love anyone from Galavan as a Morlasha reference for a long time.
Oy, they love each other as much as either of them is capable of loving anything. Like, it's, I think the only person in the world, That's the thing. Alasha's fatal flaw as a villain, and also her greatest strength as a character, is that her love is unconditional. But the thing is, her love is unconditional. So like, and the only two people in the world that she loves are Fee and Moreland. Yeah. Like it's fucked.
So when we say unconditional, we mean no conditions, including like basic human decency. Basic human decency doesn't fall under unconditional.
Yeah. Like, here's my thing. I will never say that love itself is a flaw, because it's not, and anybody who says so is an edgelord, and I don't fuck with them. But but like, there should be conditions. War crimes should be a condition.
asking you for help to murder his wife.
Yeah,
that should, and his brother,
to psychologically torture and murder his wife. Like, that should have been a condition.
Yeah,
Elisha.
You maybe should have dipped there, Queen. Like, I mean, you should have dipped before that. You should have dipped at him asking you to help murder his brother thing.
Like, oh God. Like
there were so many places she could have should have dipped. Like, if you the best time to dip would have been when he asked you to help murder his brother. The second best time would have been
now.
The second best time to do it would have been when he asked for you to help conceal his bastard child. The third best time would have been when he asked you to help psychologically torture and murder his wife. The fourth best time is now.
The fourth best time would have been when he cast fucking dominate person on your daughter, Elisha. Like, it's so fucked. Like, it is very much like, we've said this before, but Elisha's whole thing psychologically is she does want it all. She wants power as the Archduchess. She wants power as the leader of the Beacon. She wants to get the Beacon back together and lead all of it. She wants her perfect family. She wants her husband and her daughter. She wants everything.
And she will do anything.
Will do anything to get it. And she is, a lot of her internal conflict this season is that she wants her perfect family. She wants her husband and her daughter, and they are at odds irrevocably. Like, and it's very much a question of like, okay, is that going to shock her out of the death spiral that she's been in for over a century? Or is it going to be kind of a trigger, and it's going to drive her further deep into it? Like, it's very much Elisha's a lot. I love her a lot, as much as I can love any villain.
I support women's rights, but more importantly, I support women's wrongs.
God, Elisha Dakaran is very interesting.
Is Elisha willing to throw everything under a train to save Moreland's ass, or is she trying to save his ass for her own political sake? Like, more loosely, is whatever she's planning being done out of love or out of political intrigue? Two things can be true.
Again, both. Like, yeah. I think
she wants it all.
She wants it all, and also, like, Elisha's love for Moreland and want to keep him out of shit of his own making. Like, he's dug himself a hole, and her desire to keep him out of it is both because she loves him and because he will drag her down with him. Like, she has no way to get out of it. Like, they are hand in unlovable hand.
Like, if one of them goes down,
the other one is done.
Yeah.
Because they have been so complicit in all the shit that each other have done. Like, it's
yeah. Like, yeah. And I would say that there has been some other, like, you know, pretty vile shit that, like, Elisha has done for Beacon reasons that, like, Moreland doesn't know they're for Beacon reasons, because Moreland still doesn't know about the Beacon. But but if she ever needed help if she ever needed, you know, administrative help covering something up, or like an alibi, like, he gave it to her. So he's been complicit in her shit.
Mutually assured destruction. Like, it's very much, I think Elisha's love for Moreland and her own self-preservation have grown into each other so bad that she could not untangle them if she tried. Yeah. Somebody in the chat said they're so horrible. It's so interesting. Like, they're irredeemable, not just because of their actions, but also because, like, if their actions weren't all that, like, it's.
Listen, stream Tallahassee by the Mountain Goats.
This is so sad. Alexa, play Fault Lines by the Mountain Goats.
Oh my God, Alexa, play Fault Lines by the Mountain Goats.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said they'd still be irredeemable because they're so comfortable as they are. Like, even if their actions were different. Like,
yeah. I mean, there's some shit that we're gonna get into with Moreland later where it's like, well, there was some because you couldn't hear what he was saying in this episode. I tried to establish, like, that's the narrative lens fucked with us so hard with that because, like, it was Leo's POV and Leo couldn't hear him.
Yeah.
So we were trying to illustrate, like, what the basic gist of that conversation was, even with Moreland's responses being blanked out.
Yeah.
But, like, there was a reason that the invisible hand that was going back through Elisha's hair at the end, like, there was a reason her hair was shaking, and it was because Moreland's hand was shaking.
Yeah. Like, they are both very comfortable with their dynamic, and they are, to an extent, comfortable with their actions, but, like, they are pulling each other over the finish line at this point. Like,
yeah, like, that, like, there were things discussed in that conversation that made Moreland vow sign fucking tremble in his boots at the moral implications of them.
Yeah.
If that is any indication of what is coming.
Yeah. Like,
what is coming made Moreland morally uncomfortable.
They are both super fucked up in complementary ways, and they are dragging each other over the finish line. It is more Lasha. Somebody in the chat said Moreland's white noise is so terrifying every time.
Thank you. I worked really hard on it with the editing.
Wasn't it, you had to combine like 3 different audio effects?
Well, I did 2 for the white noise. And then I did 3 for the ghost sound effect.
Oh yeah. No, how about the ghost sound effects?
Yeah, I had to blend 4 for the ghost sound effect because I did I did a drone sound effect. I did a crowd, like a crowd sound effect. I did a scream sound effect, and then I did the same whispers from Siren Song in season 2.
Yeah. How about that ghost sound effect? Oh. Our next question was generally just if you could talk about Elisha and her brain action, it'd be great. Yeah. Yeah, we have. Elisha wants it all.
There's brain action certainly happening.
There is brain action. We've talked before, like, Morlasha are so trauma bonded to each other, and they have dug themselves so deep that it's just, it's... Somebody in the chat said, I'm violently afraid because Elisha is horrible, but now she has someone properly encouraging and helping her. Like, eyebrow raised emoji. Their marriage marked everything bad.
She's had somebody properly.
They've been enabling each other.
That's the whole thing. I think people really overlook the fact that, like, even in season 1 where, like, the audience and Fee and Leo, because of their limited narrative lenses, we're perceiving Elisha as this, like, morally gray person that, like, does some shady shit sometimes, but, like, she's got to have a reason behind it. But the first day, episode 1, when we met Elisha Dakaran, the woman had already been accessory to the murders of both Valor and Valsign and Adana Valsign.
Yep.
And a lot more people that had gotten in Moreland's way since then. Like,
and I think
she was always like this.
Yeah. Like, they have enabled each other so hard. And I also think that they are the only people that can call each other on their shit without getting fucking murdered anymore, which is bad because neither of them has a moral compass that functions. It's so fucked.
Well, yeah, because we've only seen Elisha call him on anything. One time, and it was in season 1, episode 17, where she grabbed him by the shirt and said, if you cast a spell on my daughter again, I'll kill you in your sleep. Like,
like, that was the only time she's really properly called him on anything. And she and Eamon both argued not against what he was doing the night of the gala, but against him not letting them get Fee and Kalesa respectively out first.
Yeah.
Like, those are the only times Elisha has actually tried to stop him from doing something.
She didn't care if the whole city died. She cared if Fee died.
Yeah. Like, she was complicit in the war crime. It was just that he didn't let her get Fee out of the city before he kicked everything off.
Yeah.
Like, more Elisha. Hand an unlovable hand. Our next question was swerving off of Morlasha. Also, fratricide. What did Moreland do after that? If you want to go into it at all, I'm because they said fratricide, we're assuming they're talking about Val's death.
I don't know. I read that as about, like, what did he do after he got fucking exposed on national radio?
That's a good point.
I believe the person
we can do both.
Yeah, I was gonna say the person that asked that question is in the chat and could probably clarify.
Yeah. Like we can discuss both, but
well, I'm reticent to do Val's death because like that's gonna be covered in
like the immediate aftermath of Val's death is something that we're covering in part 2 of the Battle of Omegroth bonus episodes, which are coming out in March and April respectively for patrons, and in the between campaign hiatus publicly. But the follow-up questions were like, did he immediately try to cover his tracks, go into hiding?
Ain't no covering your tracks when you have a murder confession on tape.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat, the person that asked this question said, yeah, it was after he killed Val, but honestly, interpret it as you will. Okay, so we'll just, so after Val's death, like, I'll just answer this one really quick. Like, no, he didn't try to cover his tracks, and no, he didn't go into hiding.
He framed the Voldurans for it.
Like, he framed the Volduran government. He framed it as a hit job. He made it as messy and as public as possible. Like, what the official story is that a Volduran assassin was sent after Valor and Valsine and stabbed him to death in his bed. Like, that's it.
And I mean, somebody did stab him to death in his bed.
Somebody did stab him to death in his bed.
But it wasn't a Volduran assassin. But it was made as messy and public as possible, especially because like he meant it, that like ethical sentiment he had of at least I let him die a martyr. That's exactly what he did. He turned Val into a martyr and used it to garner public support for the Australian military getting really fucking ruthless.
He framed Val's death as something that was done to sabotage the peace talks, which it was, by the Voldurans, which it wasn't, and something that was done because the Voldurans didn't have any boundaries in this war, and because they were trying to make a final push and
just wipe everybody out.
And wipe everybody out, take over Australian resources. And like, he used it as justification to do some fucked up shit in the war, and he rode the emotional impact of Val's death all the way to the end of the war and to his own seat as Archduke. Like, it very much was something that like I don't think it was more than like a couple hours before Val's body was discovered, and immediately Morlun was making a show of, I can't believe this horrible shit happened. Yeah, they're gonna pay for this. I'm going to make them pay for this. Like, it was. And in regards to the confession, do you want to take this one? What he did? After he got blasted on the news?
And again, I don't think, as far as covering his tracks and going into hiding, I don't think Morlun Valsine has ever backed down from anything in his life, and I think he is too old and too stubborn to start now. Pretty much everything he has ever done that he has not carefully constructed a web of lies around, he has doubled down on. And there's not really a lot of covering your tracks or lying or hiding when your kid gets you confessing to murder on tape and plays it on national radio. So there wasn't really a lot he could do there. As far as going into hiding, he's living on the Australian flagship.
Yeah, like, he is as well protected as he can be.
I think the only thing that he could do other than staying, where he is right now, is to turn tail and head back for Australia. But in a way, like, the public sentiment he would get back there, because there are Australian citizens living in Voldur who heard that, and I'm sure, like, called their family and were like, "You're not gonna fucking believe what I just heard on the news."
Like, which is why there's been so much desertment from the Navy. Like, people that didn't hear it on the news themselves have heard from their relatives who were like, "Hey," like, there was no stopping that news once it broke. And Morlun Valsine is rapidly, despite the fact that he is still a war hero and that he is still beloved by the country, he is rapidly losing sympathy. And I think running back to Australia after everything that he has done with the blockade would
make him appear weak, and that is the
Yep.
last thing that he is going to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be a blow from which public opinion of him would not recover. So, like, he doesn't have an option. He is backed into a corner.
Which, as we all know,
Is
is a
not-
dangerous
yep.
thing for him to be, because he does
Yep.
not do fun shit when he's backed into a corner.
As Alasha, Nora, and Boreas have all said, when Moreland gets backed into a corner, things get
Bad
bad.
shit happens. Yeah.
Yep.
And he is backed into arguably the tightest and most dangerous corner he has ever been in his life right now.
Yeah. Next episode's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. As our cat's litter box goes off, we're sorry. It's right by the desk.
Yeah. But I mean, I think we've seen, I think the examples we've seen of the escalation of him lashing out when he gets backed into a corner, like how it has been, like the reactions have been getting worse and worse and worse. Because like the first time we really saw him lash out like that was in season 1, episode 17, when
he cast out May burst on Fee.
Yeah, when Fee wouldn't let him out of the conversation that they were having. And then the second time we saw it was in the season 2 premiere, season 3 premiere.
The season 3
premiere, where he power word pained Leo pretty good.
Yep. That's all of our patron questions, by the way. We're gonna riff open question in the chat.
Yeah,
go ahead. But yeah, like somebody in the chat just said sweats. Yeah,
you should be sweating.
You should be sweating.
Just remember next week that his hand was shaking as he agreed to whatever is about to happen.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, of all the people that could be his closest confidant and that could be enabling him, Alasha is the most dangerous, because Alasha is so whip smart and so meticulous about planning that, like,
well, and also Alasha, until she became the Archduchess, did not have a like super politically powerful position, like on paper. She was the court mage, which is a more of an honor-based position, I would say. But like, if you look at the political influence that someone like Alasha has, even with that title, versus like the literal ambassador of Australia, Eamon Petrus, Alasha can run circles around Eamon politically. Number one, because she's more connected, and number two, because he's an idiot.
Yeah, Eamon's not smart. Kalessa's dad is not an intelligent man. We rolled his fucking character sheet for Omeroth. He's so mediocre.
He's so mediocre.
He's so mediocre.
I don't think he has over a +3 to anything.
No. Nasalia Petrus is carrying that marriage.
Anything about Florian and Ereve, I love them. Yes, my beloveds.
My beloveds. I thought we had a lot of fun establishing the gifts, because like we wanted to, when we set out to do Ereve and Florian, like we set out to do the big dramatic gifts, and like the fact that there is always a big dramatic gift that Ereve can performatively complain about and say, oh, this is so ridiculous, paired with something that she will use,
like the repair kit for her goggles and the watch, like, and
like something that shows that he does know her and he does know exactly what she needs, but he is going to let her performatively complain.
Yeah, and that's what the big extravagant gifts are. It's not. It is made to. I think that's part of what I love about Florian so much as a character, and what I love so much about the particular brand of how he cares for Ereve is that like, he knows that he has a persona and that he comes across a certain way, and he does those big extravagant gifts knowing that the outside perspective of it is going to be that he is peacocking with it, right? Because look at him, that's how he is.
But Ereve is going to see the practical gift that he got that shows that he's been paying attention and he knows what she wants.
And also she gets to complain, like in a way that big extravagant gift is also a gift for her, because she gets to complain about it.
Ereve gets to mock the whole peacocking thing while also taking a gift that she will actually use. Like, it's mwah.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing her slowly start to I don't want to say warm up, but I mean, like, it's I think there is a part of, how cautious she's been and like how much she has been like poo-pooing the gifts and saying like, oh, this is ridiculous. Because a lot of that in a way from her is performative because it's almost a gift back to Florian because she knows that Florian wants a chase.
Yeah.
And that Florian wants a challenge.
Yeah. Like they're very compatible in that way, in that Florian does want to chase and Florian does want a challenge. And like sometimes a girl just wants to be courted. God damn.
Yeah, and it's very much that. Like we were kind of afraid that it would come across as like a passing of boundaries thing, where she had been like, "Oh, this is stupid. Like Sabine, you need to tell him to stop." She has never meant that sincerely, and like, Florian knows that, and that's why he had that line of like, "If you gave me an honest no, like I would stop." But we both know that that's not what's going on.
Yeah. Like it's the intricate rituals of it all.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said their discussion in the last episode, beloved. I just love them. Like it is very much the intricate ritual of it all.
But yeah, and I think a lot of it, a lot of the intricate rituals also have to do with both of them understanding that Ereve has problems trusting people and has problems.
Well, yeah, and they've known each other for like ever. Like we established that they knew each other before the gala, and like
when they were kids, like because Ereve grew up in the Beacon, and so did Florian. So,
they were both kids that grew up in the Beacon. Like they've known each other since they were small children,
yeah.
and this has always been their dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Like not the romantic edge, I think, is new, but like this, the pigtail pulling has always been their dynamic. Mm-hmm. Somebody in the chat said, "Nah, it comes across very fun and OMG no when someone's tickling you or something." Yeah, that's what we meant it to be. Like it just
we never wanted Florian to seem creepy or like he was overstepping Ereve's boundaries, especially like because we have so firmly established Ereve as an ace spec person.
Yeah,
like
that especially was something we wanted to be very firm about, him not treading on her boundaries, because as an ace person, like it's something that happens a lot to ace characters that we didn't want to even imply was a facet to their relationship. So we left them. Somebody in the chat said, "I clutch them to my chest and kick my feet. They're so cute. They're going to be so functional, I swear." Yeah.
Ereve ace spec top 10 beloveds. Yeah, she's asexual, panromantic.
Yeah. But yeah, we just were very invested in their dynamic from the moment we decided to do it. We were like, oh them. Mm-hmm. But and it's very much about like I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Like Ereve is very much somebody that will performatively roll her eyes at like something dramatic, and like at a very dramatic persona, which is Florian's whole thing.
Like I love Florian.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said Florian just having a very, very explicit love language. Just I love them so bad. So true.
His explicit love language is he will give you something functional. I think his love language is gifts, first of all. And he will give you something very, very functional that he knows you will use. And then he will give you another gift that is extravagant and feeds your soul. Like whatever your heart needs, whatever your soul needs. Ereve's soul needs to complain.
Yeah. Florian's love language is gifts, and Ereve's love language is shit talking. And they work. Somebody in the chat said, "How's Boreas doing?"
Ask us that next week.
God. No. Boreas is doing fine. He's a little anxious. Things are making him a little anxious. That's how Boreas is doing. Somebody in the chat said, "I worry for Boreas."
Oh, you should. Oh,
things are stressful. Things are stressful for him. Oh God, that was so mean.
Oh my gosh. And I'm thinking about fond Florian moments again.
Yes.
The moment where like he and Leo sized each other up. There was a line that got cut from that scene.
I said in the Zed voice before Zed's actual line, "Oh God, the twinks are unionizing."
Yeah, like when Leo was like, cut. "I like your hat," and Florian was like, "Oh, your vibes are impeccable." And Zed went, "Oh God, the twinks are unionizing."
By twinks or something that can actually be so personal. By twinks and by butches or something that is so personal and that I hold so close to my heart. God.
All right, 5-minute call.
5-minute call on questions. Oh, goodness.
Oh, God. The
goodness.
Twinks are unionizing.
Oh, God. The Twinks are unionizing. Twink to twink communication, twink to twink conversation.
I know that we're not going to get a lot more time to do it before everything pops off, ramping up towards the end of the campaign, but I like to think very fondly that Leo and Florian go out and get mani-pedis together and talk shit, and then go to a cafe and get lattes and talk shit about all their friends.
Meanwhile, Ereve and Zed at home doing their own tasks in silence. Ereve working on her goggles as Zed knits in silence. Somebody said, "Ooh, Kalessa and Eleonora, I need to hear about these gays or I'll self-destruct."
You're going to hear a lot about them next week.
Yes. I think where they're at right now is that, like, they've been going on a few dates. They've been having fun. They haven't been super explicit about it. Like, I don't think either of them has made the move to refer to the other as their girlfriend yet, is where they're at. Hi, Pidgey.
Pidge, you're going to get stuck again. Stop.
You're going to get stuck, Pidge. And then we'll have to restart the stream, Pidge. But, like, I think they are both realizing that they're at the point where someone has to make that move to put a label on it.
And once again, the rituals are intricate.
The rituals are intricate. I think Kalessa calls Eleanor a babe on screen next episode, and not in a platonic way.
Yeah. And Fee goes, yeah.
Fee has known Kalessa long enough that she can tell the difference between a platonic babe and a romantic babe.
Because Kalessa does call everybody babe platonically.
Kalessa does call everybody babe platonically. Femmes are right to do whatever they want. But like, she referred to Lorelai as babe platonically. Like, it's very much something she does do platonically, but
there's a difference.
When she gets serious, I think she starts dropping them in a little more. Like, I think it's the difference between, oh, thanks, babe, and thanks, babe.
Yeah.
You know? Thanks.
And then for reasons we can't talk about today, but can talk about next week, their relationship is about to get...
Yeah.
It's about to go 0 to 100. Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said, my two beloveds being sapphic together is keeping me alive, actually. Like, Kalessa, my favorite lesbian in the campaign. So true. We love her so much. I like to think of Kalessa. Even
next 2 weeks. Next 2 weeks are big for Kalessa. So Kalessa fans,
Kalessa Joker arc.
Kalessa fans, you're gonna eat the next 2 weeks, but the food you're eating might be poisoned.
Kalessa fans, you're gonna eat the next couple weeks, but you will be eating nothing but ghost pepper.
So true.
Ooh, Kalessa Joker arc. Kalessa Joker arc. Kalessa fucked up at evil moments. Honorific. 3-minute call on questions in the chat. Whew. Somebody in the chat said, Ed, sad emoji, kind of sweating emoji. Barry, don't kill her dad. Listen. Wait for next week. Just listen to the episode.
She's the Joker, baby.
She's the Joker, baby. Just listen to the episode. We'll see what happens. Oh, goodness. Oh, God. Yeah. I will say, though, there is a lot to be said about the fact that even Petrus defied Moreland Valentine's expectations the night of the gala, and there will be repercussions for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I think the argument that they had the night of the gala that Leo scried in on was the first time Eamon has openly contradicted Moreland since before Omegaroth. And
it was because his daughter was in danger. Like, we've done some talking before about how, like, Eamon's a shitbag person and an enabler.
Yep.
And
a war criminal, lest we forget.
And a war criminal, but, like, he cares a lot about his daughter.
Yeah. And we saw that, like, back in episode 1, I think in season 1, in episode 11, like, he straight up lied to Moreland about where Kalessa was.
And, yeah.
To cover her ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. Like, he sucks, but oh. He's mediocre, but he
loves his kid.
meaty.
Yeah.
He's meaty but mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a McDonald's hamburger.
Yes. God.
Or an Arby's sandwich. Meaty but mediocre. Oh, goodness. And with that, we are coming to a close in this Q&A. We will give y'all one more minute if you want to drop questions in the chat. And then we're going to head out.
We're really excited for next week.
We're really excited for next week. It's yeah. Somebody in the chat said, "Is this a please read the content warnings episode?" Please read the content warnings for episode 8. Please read the content warnings next week. We will put again.
Did you guys see our cat just catch a bug right now?
Good girl, Pidgey.
She got it too. It was like
she got it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, read the content warnings for next episode. We will plaster it all over social media. Please read them. They go up Wednesdays, usually at about noon Pacific. Please read them. Everybody loves the cat. So true. She's just sitting in the bookshelf. Hi, baby.
She got a bug.
And with that, again, please read the content warnings next week. Again, we have a giveaway going on our Twitter for the keychains. Show them off one more time. They're very cute. They'll come to the merch store soon.
Zed and Kalissa Stoner Buddy Comedy is up on our Patreon if you want to listen to it.
Have a good week, everybody.
We'll see you on Monday.
We'll see you next Monday.
Goodbye.